Time to build the third of the amps. Actually really easy to do. I leveled her up yesterday to get these parts, but there's a major downside to these parts. They require the enthroplasm, which is the one I had the least of, and yet again it needed more of the toroids for every single part, as well as the rare material. I am now completely out of that Zodian stuff, but I had to go farming to find the last of these. Why does that still say I've got 5 of the Vega? None of the Solar. Well, that's not such a problem because, like the last few, I've already built these to save me some time. Now, the first one of these was actually kind of rubbish. The second one I loved to bits. That thing was ridiculously useful. This one, seeing as it is harder to get, it has to be a higher level, I'm hoping is way better. I almost feel bad for having to take this thing off, but it looks kind of similar. But wow, the differences are fairly noticeable. It has way more damage on the secondary. What's that? 2,400 more? And I am honestly massively glad that I held off on this one and the other ones. I was waiting for fixes and everything else because when this came out, the amps were kind of buggy and broken and had this very rushed feeling about it, and oh wow, I am so glad that I waited. The first amp, yeah, okay, kind of a disappointment. The second one was my favourite until I came back to actually record this. It sat there for exactly a month. Not kidding, I've just put the footage into the folder and it was exactly 1 month after building it, leveling it and going straight back to the second one. I re-equipped this thing and went, oh holy heck, what happened? This thing is completely different to the way that it was when it first came out and I built it, and yeah, this thing has taken me by surprise. I've literally just come out of the game using it and was kind of, oh, well, this thing was actually crap because it was, when you were firing in one direction, it was shooting in another direction, and I don't think I actually grabbed footage of that, which sucks, but the change over what it was like when it came out to what it is like now, the fact that it has been fixed, this is what I was hoping the other two would have been like. This thing is quite vicious. As expected, the grenade that it shoots will annihilate everything and anything within range. It is quite vicious. Not as good as the second one. I want to say it's slightly better, but visually it looks much better. It sounds a lot better. Its first attack rate, speed, that is really nice. It doesn't have the recharge rate that the second amp does, but it really makes up for it to a point of I decided to go in and try and take on an Eidolon with this, and okay, yes, granted, a lot of this came down to being in with a good team, but I've never taken an Eidolon's shields down so quick as I managed to do with this thing, and it was quite astonishing to actually be able to use an amp the way that an amp is meant to be used. And of course, I will admit I've killed myself with this thing more times than I did the second one, because it has this weird thing for its secondary fire mode that just, it's got a very wide radius, so if you're using your operator you have to basically crouch and go invisible so you're not taking the incoming damage, and it kind of negates the incoming damage from your secondaries, which is great, because if that wasn't there, this thing would be 110% unusable. And I forgot that many times and kept shooting it out and going, ah, damn, I didn't mean to do that. But that aside, yeah, this amp actually, it really did amaze me coming back to it the other day. like a month after I actually built it. Once it's been fixed, now it has been fixed, this one is well worth building over the other ones, and it was a huge improvement because it was fixed. It never should have been released in the state that it was released in when they first brought this thing out. But now, can't stress this enough, now that it's been fixed, this is definitely one of the amps to have. It is just completely vicious, and I am loving this thing more than I have any of the other amps, and I really just don't know why. But anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.